cosmopolitan replacement.
How am I going to find a new bartender before New Year's Eve?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
When life challenges become a torrential flood, there are local doctors, nurses, and medical technicians who help you maneuver the swift waters.
Dr. Wilson Clements at Ascension St. Thomas Heart is our Heart for Healing honoree. A listener writes, Dr. Clements gave my dad a new lease on life. Dad always was the first to hit the trail for a hike, but heart problems slowed him down. After a triple bypass surgery, Dad is on the mend. In fact, thanks to Dr. Clements, he's quickly becoming his old self. Plus, it turns out that Dad and the doctor both are Civil War historians. Dad looks forward to the checkups and visits with the doctor. Cardiothoracic surgeon Wilson Clements is our Heart for Healing honoree and receives dinner for 2 at the fabulous Alley on Main Street restaurant.
Submit your Heart for Healing nomination to WGNS.
The Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and online at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday morning edition of the Roundtable Show with your hosts, Rick and Wayne. We come to you every Tuesday morning here at WGNS Radio Studios in Murfreesboro, and we try to concentrate on the north end of county and with business focus and things going on in our community and keep you up to date. I want to bring up, I guess I need to start promoting it more. We're live now streaming, so if you go through WGNS.com, you can click on the link and see us live on YouTube and actually see us in studio here, but it's something we can do. Obviously, we stream over the internet as well, but if you're on the radio dial and come home and don't have to sit in your car, you can go in and pick us up inside the house. So
yeah, I actually comb my hair, now.
I know. Makes us actually wear clothes, right? Decent clothes. How's that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Got to get dressed
Good morning,
up.
Wayne. How are
Good
you,
morning,
buddy?
Brother Rick. Good. Congratulations to the Raiders. Good win over FIU. Unfortunately for FIU, they were not a very good football team, but we played well, and the men and ladies basketball teams have geared up and they're in action, and I think both of them are going to be exceptional this year. And the ladies, gosh, they've got several tall trees this year, so they'll be fun to watch. Yeah, really I think so as well. I think they'll be very competitive and fun to watch. So I have tickets. I just hadn't been able to make a game quite yet. Mm-hmm. So, but it'll be fun. So, how about your weekend?
Man, you might tell my voice. I've been fighting this little croup that it seems like everybody went, but it's like I was telling y'all before. I'm full of shots and amoxicillin and everything else trying to get over this dude.
Tis
it needs
the
some
season.
rain or something. I don't know.
I think tis the season, for those type things.
Sure is.
Rick, this morning we have a fellow Rotarian with us, Jackie Scully. Jackie's the senior care advisor for the bridge at Hickory Woods, which is just over the creek from Laverne. We both have had a number of friends and people we know that have had great experiences with the care that they've received at the bridge. So welcome this morning, and we're
Thank
really
you.
pleased to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I think you'll have a good time. We always start out by asking our guests to share some things about themselves that they would like the audience out there to know.
Sure. Well, again, thank you for having me. I grew up in New Haven, Connecticut, so I'm a Yankee. But I've been here. I heard that if you're here 9 years, you're actually a Nashvilleian.
No, you're a damn Yankee.
All right, I'm still a damn Yankee then.
Don't let him hang up. I'm from Delaware. I know you can tell by my voice as well, but
that's great.
He'll gang up on us.
That's great. So I grew up in a big family, big loving family, and went to school at University of Connecticut, and then finished at Central Florida and went to grad school for wellness management. I always wanted to figure out how to help people stay healthy rather than get better after they're already sick, and that's what I focused on, and ended up working in cardiac rehab. And then the hospitals that I worked at kept putting me out into the marketing things and the expo things and the business things, and eventually the public relations department took me over. And then I ended up in senior care because I've always loved seniors, and been in that for about 25 years, and now I'm at the Bridge of Hickory Woods.
What about siblings?
I've got
family still all over. Before the show, you were saying they're all over the nation.
Oh yeah, I've got my sisters tuning in from Orlando, Florida. My sister Robin, my brother Barry, and sister-in-law Chris are in Georgia. I think they're tuning in. My son and his wife Amanda are up in Milwaukee. They're tuning in. I got a couple brothers in Connecticut. My brother Joe, brother Sam. Wow. And then I've got my partner out in LA, my boyfriend. We have a long distance relationship.
Wow, no doubt.
Yeah.
2,000 miles worth.
2,000 miles. So he's tuning in from LA, and then I got a friend up in Oregon. So you got the country on today.
Goodness gracious. That is a large family.
That's right. Yeah. And then I ended up, we all kind of took care of my dad in his later years. But since I was in senior care, my family kind of nominated me to have him move in with me. So he lived with me the last few years of his life, and we bought a house in Laverne. And so it was awesome to have him with us.
God bless you for taking care of your dad.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I tried to get him in at the bridge, but they were full, so.
Oh, wow. That speaks volumes, I suspect.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the bridges of Hickory Woods. What I know it's kind of got a two-sided center, so you've got
we have a
sister
sister
living.
Yeah, we've got Life Care, which is skilled nursing, rehab, long-term care right next door. We're all the same organization. The Bridge is assisted living only. Though we have, we've got a lot of people who are independent, some people who deal with some memory challenges, but it all works. It's a warm, loving community. We've got 103 residents. A lot of people have cars, come and go as they please. We've got church every Sunday, big church service, because we've got a few retired pastors that live there, and it's
rotate.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome, really awesome. A lot of.
You don't have an actual memory care unit. It's just depending on the severity of their diagnosis as far as the memory care.
Yeah, if it's early memory challenges, as long as they're not, trying to get out the door and walk out onto Murfreesboro Road, it works. We don't want to chase anybody down the road.
No, I understand that.
So what's the process? So you're a son or a daughter, and you've got a loved one that needs to look at maybe going to assisted living center. So walk through what they should be doing or looking out for or need to know when they come and see you or want to come see a tour with you.
Yeah. So I sit with the family and I basically listen to what they're dealing with. Mm-hmm. Sometimes after I hear their whole story, maybe their resources are so limited that it's not going to work for them to be full-time in assisted living. So maybe I might help them get connected with some non-medical home health services. Maybe they just need a few hours, 3 times a week for someone to come in at home. But if they're concerned, like mom or dad or both need, around the clock medical, clinical presence, not necessarily intervention, but just knowing someone's in the building, then it makes sense to be to be in assisted living. So I'll tour the family, look around. They'll decide if they want like a studio or a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. Right now we're pretty full, so we've got a couple studios, couple 1-bedrooms. And we're month to month, so if mom or dad are there for a few months and they, have a upturn in their health and condition and they feel like they can be back home, then they go back home.
Paying wise, is it a self-pay or does Medicare or Social Security help with any of that?
It's private pay. A lot of people have, well, not as many people as I'd like, have long-term care policies.
Right.
Some people were either married to a veteran and there's aid and attendance through the VA that pays a good chunk, somewhere between maybe $1,800 and $2,200 a month, depending on if you're a spouse of a veteran that's passed or you're the veteran. But other than that, it's private pay. I would like for that to be different. I kind of feel like, when our kids are 5, 6 years old, they go to kindergarten. I feel like on the other end of life, when you need support, maybe just pay a copay and just pick your assisted living. I mean, that's the utopian view that I have. And if there were 2 of me, I'd be in Washington kind of trying to figure out how to make that happen. Push it through, yeah.
Well, Rick will tell you, through his experience and my experience as well, that long-term care is not attractive as far as a product until you get to be older.
Yes.
So as far as trying to sell somebody that product or even disability, life insurance has a different mentality towards for young people than disability or long-term care, because they feel, well, I'm not going to need that. I'm healthy as a horse. But
yep.
But you get to see people every day that wish they had long-term care.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
Sitting across the table from me every single day, 3, 4, 5 families all the time. And it really wasn't until I got in senior care that I was like, wait a second, I'm playing Russian roulette here and I got to get coverage. So I bought myself 3 policies so that my kids don't have to go through that.
Smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of walk us through, a day for a resident that, pretty much can take care of themselves, but go through what they can expect, the social opportunities, the medical opportunities as far as taking care if they have some slight issues. Kind of walk us through.
So if they're fairly independent, but they just like having the caregivers in the building, if they're that particular resident, they get up, they get dressed, they come down for breakfast, which is anytime between 7:30 and 9, have breakfast, then 10 o'clock, they go to the activities room, do whatever exercise is going on as a group, then really go back to their apartment, get ready for lunch, come down for lunch, which is
watch game shows maybe.
Watch a game show, maybe Wheel of Fortune, and then come down to lunch, which is anywhere between 11:30 and 1. And then usually we'll have music or some games or Rumacube or just a million different things. Our activities director Lawrence is amazing. He just keeps them busy. So then they do some kind of activity, maybe go back up to their apartment, rest for a little bit, come back down, maybe chat, hang out. There's beautiful courtyards. The whole building is they're just everywhere. Sit with other residents, chat, sit out front. Families are coming and going all the time. So there's a lot of just different vibrant conversations. It's a vibrant building. And then get ready for dinner. Our dining room is, full service. So servers come over, get your drink order and you order off a menu it rotates every day. There's an always available menu. And then there's also a private dining room. Like if you have a family event or a gathering, we provide you a server, close the doors, and you have the private dining room to yourself. And then after dinner, if there's something going on, some kind of event, then they attend that, and then otherwise kind of go watch game shows.
How's the food?
The food's awesome. RJ is our culinary director, and he rocks. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
he was going to MTSU and kind of put that on hold because he wanted to devote more time to the bridge. So
pretty cool.
the food's amazing. Yeah, I helped serve yesterday. We had sloppy joes, corn French fries, sweet tea, lemonade, cranberry juice, apple juice, orange juice.
And as I was telling you, I think before the show, that we actually had a Smyrna Rotary meeting there at the bridge. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, possibly. I lose track of time, but it was great setting, location. Food was great. I always remember if the food is or is not good.
No, the food is paramount. My father was a chef, so
wow.
For me, it would be disloyal if I worked at a place that didn't have good food.
Well, you didn't even mention that as you were talking
Oh, I forgot.
about.
Yeah, my father was a chef, amazing chef.
Owned his own
all through the
restaurant.
years, owned his own restaurants. And
He specialized in?
oh, gosh. He specialized in going into an empty cabinet and making a feast. He had a way about him. His soups were amazing. He was just an incredible chef. He was an artist in the kitchen.
Wow.
And when he lived with us, it was just great to see him and my daughter cooking in the kitchen. I loved that. I wish everybody could have that, like the generations together.
Sure.
That's important. Yeah, one of the pilot programs that I'm thinking of doing, and I got to talk to our executive director, is creating a pen pal program so that kids in grammar school and middle school and even high school can be paired up with seniors who are in senior living all over the country, so that seniors never have a day when they don't get mail.
That would be awesome.
Oh, I think so too. Wow.
Yeah, and maybe I could kind of help get some partnership to get some government help to provide the stationery to all the schools across the country, and then the kids learn to write letters on this stuff called paper. With these,
maybe they could learn cursive.
I know, that ancient writing style. Yeah.
So I guess it tunes into last week's show where we had, we talked about it, where we had some guest on, and Leanne was able to talk about the insurance side of this. And like you said, if you don't got a long-term care program kind of already in place, or setting aside some kind of savings plan or something, does Social Security kick in for some centers and not particularly yours? Or?
Well, no, it's private pay. So if you get $2,000 a month for Social Security, that's part of what you pay monthly. Like our studio's $34.90. So if you get $2,000 for Social Security, that's $2,000 towards the $34.90.
Good.
And then if you have a house to sell, you sell the house, put your equity away, and then you take from that each month to pay towards the rent. I mean, so far that's my plan, because I've got, anywhere in the Nashville area, you buy a house that appreciates pretty
good, right?
Pretty good. I say thanks, Dad, because I wouldn't have bought the house 5 years ago if it hadn't been for him, and now there's $250,000 in equity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you mentioned that it was all inclusive, I believe, earlier too. Food,
transportation, laundry activities, housekeeping, Wi-Fi, cable, landline phone, all included.
What about as far as transportation? Kind of share what that encompasses.
Sure. Tom is our full-time driver, so he schedules with all the residents. Like he goes to this one area on Tuesday, another area Thursday. Like he'll go to Southern Hills appointments on one day, go into Nashville on a different day. So he works it out. I mean, I see him in the sitting area all the time with his book, and he's playing chess with his appointments.
I bet.
So he actually drives them to doctor's appointments.
Oh,
and
yeah.
things like that. That's
oh,
awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
So it's all the things I don't really think about that, I guess it is kind of a necessity with things that happen today.
When my dad lived with us, boy, though I've been in this industry for a very long time, once you go through it personally, it's a whole different, I'm leaving for work, and my father called. I checked on him. He was still sleeping. Make coffee, grab something for breakfast. On the way out the door, my father, "Hey, Jack. Hey, I think I bumped my leg." And I walk in the room, and there's blood everywhere.
Oh, wow.
I said, it's just a couple of drops, Dad, no problem. And so, I call into work, I'm going to be late. But, those little things. And, you never want them to feel like ever that they're putting you out.
No.
Because they gave you life.
No. My mom obviously lives with me, and I'm grateful every day that she's there, and we get to share that time. And she grew up on a farm, and we kind of always lived in the city, and then I live out on a farm now. So between horses and chickens, and we got the neighbors got goats and sheep and cows, and the deer and turkeys that we've got are just amazing right now. And
that sounds like paradise to me.
It's pretty nice, and I'm thankful to have her there.
You won't have any regrets.
No, I hope not. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I was looking over some of the questions you had, and you said we were kind of preparing this. You were talking about your personal experience with senior situations, and that being your father. So you said, what's a solution? So what's your opinion as far as solution outside of running for a Senate seat or Congresswoman?
Well, I had a
Washington?
I had a friend who wanted me to run for state Senate in Wisconsin, and I was like,
yeah.
Dude, and I had run for office in Connecticut for town council, and my Lord, that's a full-time thing. It's a full-time. I was independent, and I just wanted to make a difference. And so, it's a challenge because it's an industry where there's a bottom line, and, our building has, massive overhead, and they have to pay all the different bills. And so they charge a certain amount, but it's the people that call me and only have $1,500 a month and no other resources. So I get on the phone and I'm looking for low-income housing on Google, and I spend a half an hour on the phone with them trying to get them hooked up, and they don't feel confident to call different places. And so I'm trying to find ways to support people on the side who can't afford us.
Wow.
And I would like for there to be more support like that in the country, locally in the country, for people who don't have the resources, didn't think about it ahead of time, and suddenly they're needing the support, and they don't have the resources, and there's no family. And so what do you do? What do you do? I mean, one lady came in for our ice cream social, and I stayed I felt like she should have been somewhere where she had some support, but she was proud and she wanted to stay home. And then she ends up, and I was checking in with her every couple weeks, and she called me 6 weeks ago on a Saturday, and she said, "Could you take me to a doctor's appointment on Monday?" Well, I get there on Monday. I'm not supposed to do this. I hope my boss isn't listening. So I, show up at her house on Monday, and she can't move. She's sitting in a chair. She can't move. So I call our maintenance director. I hope my boss isn't listening. And he gets on his motorcycle and flies over there, and the two of us carry her to my car, and I take her to the ER. But that's happening all over the country, and nobody's hearing about that. So what do we do? What do we do? And I don't have the answer, but I'd like to come up with one. Some kind of advocacy program where people don't feel ashamed or embarrassed that they're home alone without being able to handle things anymore.
So the bridge is either an assisted living or rehabilitation on the other side. Is that
Yep.
correct?
So the bridge, our building, beside our sister building, which is Life Care, the bridge, that building is assisted living.
Okay.
The sister community next door is Life Care, which is rehab, long-term care, and skilled nursing.
So explain the difference between what the bridge does compared to a nursing home that accepts Medicare.
Sure. When you say nursing home, that's kind of like the old-fashioned term for what we call a SNF, or skilled nursing facility.
Well, I'm old-fashioned, so with an emphasis on old, I guess.
So if you say you're in the hospital, you fall. You're in the hospital for a week or however many days, and you banged yourself up. You can't go right home because you're feeling weak. Maybe you broke something. So then you'll go to rehab. Usually like 3 weeks you'll go to rehab because Medicare's got this, pays 100%, 20 days.
Sure.
And then you may choose to go back home, maybe with some home health, or you say, you know what, it's just not safe being home anymore. I feel like I'm a fall risk. I feel like it's just too much to be getting my groceries. I don't have a lot of help. I'm going to check out assisted living. So they may come directly from Life Care right next door to the bridge. So Life Care will just call me and just say, hey, Mr. Smith is looking at maybe coming to assisted living. Or he may just be coming for a month, which is our respite. Maybe he just feels like, I just need another 30 days. Medicare is not going to cover my rehab anymore, but I still want to be somewhere where I have support.
Sure.
So he'll come for 30 days, stay in our respite apartment, and then he's good to go. Then he goes back home. Or he says, you know what? I like it here. I'm going to stay, which happens all the time, most of the time. So then they'll convert from respite to permanent resident.
But like you said, it is private pay.
It's private pay.
You write the check each month.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And whoever's listening, I don't care how old you are, go get a long-term care policy.
No matter what it costs. Huh?
No matter what it costs. The younger you are, and that's the flip is, you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, you think, that's forever.
That's been our experience with not only LTC, but also disability as well.
But you blink and you're 80.
Or 70.
Or 70.
Well,
or 60.
With Wayne and I'm in insurance, and Wayne, retiring from it, it used to be everybody carried around a life insurance policy they got on each person, and then the parents would always get one, like on your kids that you would be able to carry and try to get a kid a whole life policy early when they're young, and then it's that same price as they go along with whatever amount you picked when they're young. Obviously, the younger you are, the cheaper your insurance is. So there's term products that are out there, but they run out. And I think everybody relies on work life insurance now, but our whole goal is to work and retire. But when you leave, that money that you put in on that group life insurance policy at work doesn't go with you. So they find a lot of people, when they retire, the first thing they do is call their local insurance agent and say, hey, my life insurance ran out because I've retired. I need to get some. And well, what were you paying? I was paying $25. Well, it's going to be about $225 now, about to get the same amount that you had before. And it's culture shock. Same as a long-term care program. They're just not, you're just not going to pay a few dollars anymore. They're very expensive, and they're very to the point what they're going to cover anyways.
And they're underwritten. So if you have health issues, it may cost you even more, even if you can get it.
I know, and that's the hard part, because you take a job when you're 30 years old, you stay in the job until you're 50.
Well, nobody does that anymore.
Well, you stay. I had a guy, he was with a company, I think it was Yellow Truck, and he was with him for 30 years, and he had his insurance with Yellow Truck. It was $18 a month or $15 a month, and then it's $250 because now he's got high blood pressure. And now that's, like you said, the same. So, yeah, just ignore your young mind thoughts and get coverage.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
You've been listening so far with Jackie Scully. She's Director of Sales for the Bridges of Hickory Woods. And we're talking retirement centers and assisted living centers and this morning with everybody, just trying to bird dog, I guess, off of last week's show about hitting this age and getting your insurance and what that's going to carry and Medicare pays and things like that. But we've kind of gone through a typical day of a residence there, and you've kind of outlined it. It sounds like to me you're, with Director of Sales, you're wearing many hats with all the people. How many people you usually meet in a week? Because this is
in a week. Well, in
thing.
August we moved 11 families in.
Wow. So
to get to moving 11 families in, that's about 40 to 50 tours. So so it could be, there are days when there's 3 tours, there are days you have 5 tours, there are days you have no tours. It just depends. And so much of it is phone calling. You're listening to the family who's sharing, this is what's going on with mom, that's what's going on with mom. And you want to listen.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a sales director, I'm a resource and an advocate, because I've been there. And so I want people to feel supported, and sometimes I'm in conversation for 6 months before someone finally says, you know what, I'm going to come look around because I'm feeling exhausted. Because there's such a thing as caregiver burnout. And it's a real thing. A lot of caregivers drop before the people that they're taking care of do. Because they're so exhausted and they're just trying.
I think that's everything with nursing industry, law enforcement, police work, everything.
Take care of a couple of grandchildren for 2 or 3 days. You talk about exhaustion.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming up against our first break. We're going to take a break real quick. You're listening to Jackie Scully, Director of Sales with the Bridges of Hickory Woods, and we'll be right back with you in just a minute.
Hey guys, if you notice a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Be sure to schedule your health assessment at Low T Center. They offer the convenience of physician-monitored, self-inject at-home testosterone treatments with an average payment of $150 a month, cash pay, including labs and medication. If you don't live near a Low T Center or just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy, shipping treatments directly to you. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Landfills are complex, dynamic, and ever-evolving environments. Our operators start from the ground up. Middle Point is a modern facility constructed with a highly engineered liner system that meets every safety and regulatory standard in the book. We're the subject of multiple at-random inspections, have active air quality, groundwater, stormwater, and solid waste permits, and are compliant with all local, state, and federal regulations. Learn more at middlepointlandfill.com. For public services, we are sustainability in action.
It's time for the Under 65 Health Insurance Open Enrollment Period. Do you have pre-existing medical conditions? Planning a baby? Feel more comfortable with the full coverage option? Let us help you. Cover My Assets Insurance Group works with multiple carriers to find the right plan for you. Call us today at 615-345-0411 or look us up online at covermyassets.com. That's covermyassets.com.
Finding that missing shin guard. Remembering whether it's a home or away game. Getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things. Like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref!
That's simple human sense.
Rayburn Insurance in Smyrna.
Come see me, Rick Hall, at Rayburn Insurance in downtown Smyrna today.
You can become an emergency medical technician with specialized training at the TCAT campus in Murfreesboro. Tennessee College of Applied Technology President Patrick Wade said,
one of the reasons why we started that program is because of the need in our area.
Jobs are available in the medical field locally and across the state.
Whenever industries are having a hard time finding that qualified person, then we want to make sure we're standing ready for that.
Become an emergency medical technician with specialized training at the TCAT campus at the intersection of Old Fort Parkway and the New Salem Highway in Murfreesboro.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by AmeriCare Pest Control and the law offices of John Day.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the law offices of John Day. For more than 30 years, my team and I have worked hard to help injured people throughout Middle Tennessee. Over that time, we've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. And if we're not able to help or aren't the right lawyer for you, we'll do the best to point you in the right direction. If you've been injured, call the law offices of John Day for a free consultation. And remember, there's no fee unless we win your case.
Let's check those WGNS Good Neighbor events. And this weekend is the final weekend for Stephen King's Misery. That's at the Center for the Arts in Uptown Murfreesboro. It's also the final weekend for Urinetown the Musical at the Arts Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury. Now listen, the best Christmas pageant ever begins November 30th and continues through December 9th at the Springhouse Theater in Smyrna, November 30th through December 9th. Oh yes, Sunday, December 3rd at 3, the Middle Tennessee Choral Society presents their Christmas program, Sunday, December 3rd at 3 at MTSU's Wright Music Building. Get ready for the Christmas holidays at Oakland's Mansion. The Christmas dinners are on Saturday and Sunday, December 1st and 2nd. Those are the Christmas dinners at Oakland's Mansion. And Oakland's Mansion's annual Candlelight Tour of Homes is Saturday evening, December the 9th, from 4 until 8 in the evening. Don't forget the Art Studio Tour is this weekend. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Good neighbor weather. Partial sunshine develops here this afternoon, high of 70 degrees. East winds of 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy skies, a low near 44. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vujicic, Scan News Radio, WGNS. Currently, it's 50.
Middle Tennessee Electric brings you the lighting of the downtown Murfreesboro Christmas tree December 1st at 5:30 in front of the local courthouse. See you at the family-friendly event that ushers in the holiday season at 5:30 December 1st. If you can't make it, watch it on Big G TV Live on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And good morning. Welcome back to Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And this morning, Miss Jackie Scully, Senior Care Advisor for the bridge at Hickory Woods. Like I said, we're just kind of just over the creek from Laverne, so you're easy to get to. I-24 is right there, so you know anybody wanting to come and see a loved one. Except at rush hour, it's probably easy to get to them.
I can't complain. I live 9 minutes from there, so I live right up Waldron Road.
I think Rick was going to share with our audience how to get in touch with you, and then maybe after that, I had asked you off air about spouses coming there as well. So
yeah, we have a number of couples. What's great about that is, usually it's one or the other is having a lot of challenges. And so when they move in with us, the one that's, kind of carrying the yoke of managing all the challenges gets a break, and it actually revitalizes their relationship because they can get back to being husband and wife rather than caregiver and patient. So we pick up the slack, which is nice. So we have a couple now, like the husband comes down to men's group and steak dinners, and the wife will go get her nails done. And so they have kind of some of their space back that they kind of lost in the caregiver relationship.
But, we talked about transportation, but a number of your residents still have their own vehicles. Correct?
Oh, yeah.
So if they want to take themselves to their congregation or...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of carpools that go to different congregations, and we've got awesome church service every Sunday at our building because we've got, I think 2 or 3 retired pastors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So I'm seeing it in a whole different way of what I think of assisted living. So if my loved one's there and I decide I want to take a day to take them out and have their nails done or take them shopping or something, they're free to go. Come and go as they want.
It's their home. It's their home. It's 24/7.
Standby medical staff if you need it when you're staying.
Yeah, it basically just picks up the slack from family, and then you get to be like, have a regular relationship again and like just do fun things.
And then they're around like-minded aged people that they've got activities every day instead of sitting at home by themselves.
Like one of my favorite things is when I arrive every morning and I pull up and I go walking towards the entrance. There's like 4, 5, 6 residents just sitting around, just chatting. It's just so nice. Yeah. It just feels good.
I know in my law enforcement career, there would be a few times that I would have to go to, assisted living centers. And I felt like when you're walking towards that door that you're about to get the questions. And I find myself sitting there for a half hour or so talking with everybody, answering questions, Why are you here? What's going on? Well, back in the day, I was,
They get all excited when a police officer car comes up. Yeah, it's like, oh, yay.
Yeah, and we're not usually there for bad things. It's usually, for follow-ups or something. Where somebody might have now been a resident there, and we've had some kind of case in the past that's had to push us where we've had to go there. But, it was... And the food is good. I know
the food's amazing. You ate there?
Well, I haven't ate at the Bridges, but I've got one day it was at lunchtime. I happened to be there, and of course I had 2 old guys that were asking me, and I said, "Well, come on, let's go eat." And I went in and sat down, and man, it was like a 5-star dining room to me. It had
Thank you.
Really nice with tablecloths, and we had like real plates, and I was like, this is super nice. But they were fun. They were really good guys.
Yeah, we had an open house, a couple months ago, and we had, oh my gosh, we got slammed. It was like 75 people, and this one lady, she was 89 years old. When she was done eating, she went over and sat at the grand piano and played amazing music.
Oh, wow.
Marion, she played amazing music that I hadn't heard, and she just, oh my God, she owned that piano.
No kidding.
So, and she had everybody's attention. It was just, you just never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, there's such a wealth of history. Like every person there has lived this huge life with just so much history. And it's hard to do my job because I just want to talk to them all day.
I imagine so.
Go ahead and tell how to get in contact with you if they're interested in more information, be it the website or emailing or
Oh,
whatever.
sure. Yeah. If you just Google the Bridge at Hickory Woods, can I have my business card? Thank you. Yeah. And then bridge at hickorywoods.com. And then the phone number is 615-501-0270. Sorry, I have to look at my card. And then my email is jscully@centurypa. That's centurypa.com. Yeah. Or just drive up Murfreesboro Road.
So what will they find on the website?
Floor plans, the different like amenities. There's a tour that, kind of goes around the building. You'll see our courtyards. And just kind of educational information about what assisted living is, because people have, particularly the older generation, has a mindset. Nursing home, it's like where you go, where you get put,
Sure.
or where you go to die, and that's what a lot of older people think. And it's where you go to live.
Sure.
Like even when my dad was living with us, like if my daughter and her fiance were out working and I was working, my dad's in his recliner, coffee pot. My daughter called it Grandpa's Triangle. The recliner to the coffee pot to the bathroom to the recliner to the and that's it was when we weren't around, it was kind of lonesome for him.
Sure.
So in our place it's definitely not lonesome.
You're exactly right in saying that, because it kind of is.
Yeah. And then you feel bad when you leave every day. You probably feel bad because it's like mom's going to be sitting in front of the tube all day.
Yeah. Well, you do. And I mean, unfortunately, we all are having to work, and right now with the insurance industry, we're really busy with the number of losses, and insurance companies are making a lot of changes and coverages, so we're staying pretty busy. So my hours have lengthened. Oh, well, I made Wayne come back to work. We were talking about that earlier. But
well, part-time.
To come back part-time to help us. So
he felt sorry for me. He knew I wasn't getting a lot of adult conversation.
Yeah.
Well, and also something else, anytime you want to come in with mom, just come for lunch.
Yeah.
Come for an event, or just, have someone else come over with her. And because we're like open door policy, we have a calendar, just ask for, anybody who wants to email me or go to the website, ask for a calendar. I'll send you a calendar every month and you can join us for any event. We're open door policy.
Wow.
So explain the rooms again. So you said when you say studio, describe walking into that room. What's it look like?
Yeah, you walk in to the door. You walk through the door, and usually on the left or the right, there's going to be a little kitchenette, microwave, fridge, cabinets, counter. Then on the other side, there's going to be quite a large bathroom with a walk-in shower. And then when you walk into the main area, it's a good-sized room, and then a huge window that overlooks usually a courtyard or Murfreesboro Road. Some people prefer to see the street, and some people prefer the courtyard. So it's a good size, and we'll mount the TV for people if you want it mounted. Good size closets. So that's the studio, and then we have the one bedroom. We have a couple of those left.
What do they run a month?
$39.95. Studio's $34.90, and that's all inclusive. If there's an extra level of care that we have to staff for, then there's an additional cost depending on the severity, how much need there is and how much we have to staff for it.
Explain what that means.
Sure. So if I move in and I say, I don't feel comfortable showering by myself, so I really want someone to kind of stand by, so I just know that someone's there for me, that's an extra care need. And when I'm getting in and out of bed, I really would like someone there to help me get in and out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's an extra care need. I can't really put my socks on myself. I need help getting dressed. That's an extra care need. I don't trust myself to manage my medication. I forgot my lisinopril last week, and it got trouble for me. So that's an extra care need. So our director of nursing will assess each incoming resident, do a whole questionnaire, have an interview with them, and enter all the information into her computer, and then it will kind of spit out the level of care. Now, a lot of times people have let it go too far at home, so then they'll come to us on a particular, let's say, level 2 care. But once they're with us for a month, their level drops.
I got you. Yeah, makes sense.
Because now they feel revitalized and they're not so exhausted from trying to do things that they can't manage anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So their level, and we're very, very big on keeping the levels as low as possible, which isn't always the case.
Right.
So I would have an echo there, and I would play my music probably too loud. So how would you kick me out, or would you put me at the end
I
of
don't
the
know.
hall?
We must have really thick walls, because I'm walking the halls all the time, and I'm in different apartments all the time. I never hear, and we have pets. You can have pets, and
oh wow,
I never hear complaints. We also have resident council meetings once a month, and this past month, it was private, so there was no staff. No directors, no staff, so that the residents could share without feeling uncomfortable about, sharing, like different things that they want, like, oh, can you blow the leaves out front more often? Can you have broccoli more often? You don't serve corn enough.
I find as I age, I actually do get a little more crotchety, I guess is the term I would use. Conflict resolution between your residents.
Well, actually, I'm trained in conflict resolution. In a past life, I was a paralegal and for family law, and boy, it's not really much of a thing. And if it is, then we're just very peace oriented. So it's either our executive director is a retired pastor. My background is social services. I mean, everybody's very much into resolution. Some people like, oh, I don't want so-and-so sitting at my table anymore in the dining room. We're always 12 years old.
Yeah.
And, then it's like, oh, let's talk afterwards. I'll come up to your apartment. So what's going on? Well, she always, chews her ice cubes too loud. You know what? I get it. That's hard to hear when you're trying to eat peacefully. And
sure.
Would you like me to talk with her about chewing her ice cubes too loud, or would you prefer to sit somewhere else? Well, I really like her, but I just don't want her chewing so loud anymore. Okay, well, let me see. Let me have a conversation with her about the ice cubes. So then, you go back to go to the other person, and so, what's going on with ice cubes? I'm not sure it's good for your teeth. And, you just kind of go back and forth. And if you can't resolve them sitting together, then where else would you like to sit?
Sure.
So
sounds like a domestic and law enforcement. Sometimes I just want to be heard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Rick,
exactly.
I keep telling Rick, I said, please write a book with all your experiences. I mean, it's just, it would probably be a bestseller, I suspect.
Just change the names.
Life in a small town detective.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. When I see Laverne cop cars driving around, I'm like, what exactly are they doing?
Yeah. Well, it's easy to quarterback. And, unfortunately, day and a time where we're all, with social media and everything else, it's quick to be critical of a situation and not knowing the whole thing. And there is days that they may not be doing nothing at all, but you don't know what they did the day before, so they're trying to catch up on reports.
Oh, yeah.
And they gotta sit and catch up on stuff. But
in my mind, there's no crime in Laverne, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, gosh, well, they're just...
In law enforcement, though, you're always in harm's way. There's always that potential to be in harm's way.
Understood.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And to go look for an older person. What is it? Is it
Silver alert?
Silver alert. Is that when an older person is missing?
But see, that's where like us going to assisted living centers and things, and law enforcement, we found a need of that silver alert. But because a lot of elderly, loved ones are staying at home and a lot of times by themselves, and they wander off, and we really had no system in place, and it forced law enforcement to really look at it. And now we kind of got a system in place, and with the license plate readers that we've got now through law enforcement, we're able to get that information with loved ones' vehicles out and find a better resolution of what we were running into a lot of time years ago.
That's so great. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder, like, I'll see somebody, homeless person, or I never know. Do I call?
Yeah.
Do I call to? But what do you like?
Yes, you call.
Yeah.
If you see something, say something.
Okay. Good to know.
So we're going to take our second break, but I'm going to let everybody know you've wrote a song, and we're going to go into your song on this last segment. It's going to be, unfortunately, with time that's gotten away from us today, it's going to be a short segment, but we're going to play a song that you wrote and try to get into it a little bit in our last few minutes, okay?
Awesome.
I will
Thank
not be
you.
singing along,
Yeah.
so.
Nor will I.
Your son's singing it, but we're going to take our second break. We'll be right back with you in just a minute.
Hi, this is Mike Cutter. I'm the owner of the award-winning family-owned home care agency, Honey Hill Home Care. My daughter Becca and I started Honey Hill as a result of personal need and understand what you and your family are going through. Learn more at honeyhillhc.com.
Here at Bud's Tire, we make buying Michelin tires simpler. I'm Allison Mitchell with Bud's Tire Pros. We offer a straightforward approach to service, including nationwide warranties with every purchase. Stop in today to see our full lineup of Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. For whatever you drive, Michelin and BF Goodrich have a tire to fit any need. Bud's Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. We're located on East Main Street, exactly 3 miles from the town square, 1 mile past Rutherford Boulevard. Visit us online at budstirepros.tn.com.
It seems like right after our estate show, we'll be having our week-long Black Friday specials. It'll be all through the week of Thanksgiving. So it'll start the Saturday before Thanksgiving on to the Saturday right after Thanksgiving. We're going to have special pricing on select items. Pick out that special piece at that special price. And that's all Thanksgiving week at Bell Jewelers, 821 Northwest Broad Street, across from Toots.
It's a Slick Pig barbecue, spicy wings and Brunswick stew, everything made fresh for you at the Slick Pig barbecue. There's lean smoked turkey and chicken too, ribs so tender don't need to chew. Well, come on folks, I'm telling you, it's a Slick Pig barbecue. In 1920 East Main, you're gonna love the pig.
The Slick Pig Barbecue, a Murfreesboro tradition.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2023. Save 60%. Code 2023. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
This is Pastor Nikki Ajapong, the lead pastor of Holy Hill Chapel in Murfreesboro.
Hear our sermons on WGNS every Sunday night at 7:30.
Everyday life, never take it for granted.
Visit holyhillchapeltn.org to hear our podcast.
It's a blessing.
We're visiting with Jennifer Sanchez, manager of Steered Straight 2 Furniture and Thrift at 1007 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
You're not just walking into just a big warehouse. You're walking into rooms. We've got a media room, we've got a boutique room, we've got a vintage room, a furniture area, kitchen, all that.
Steered Straight 2 Furniture and Thrift.
Every day you go in there, I promise you it's changing.
Steered Straight 2 Furniture and Thrift, 1007 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Online at steeredstraightthriftstore.org.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And good morning and welcome back to the final segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And we've had Jackie Scully, Senior Care Advisor for the bridge at Hickory Woods. And I think you're going to give us a treat with a song that your son is singing. Mm-hmm. Did he write it as well?
Nope, I wrote it a while back, and he's an amazing vocalist. So he said, "Sure, Mom, I'll sing it for you. What the heck?"
Wow. Okay.
So lead us in. What's the song about?
Sure,
Kind of ties into what's going on right now in our world, right?
Yeah, and so the song is from the perspective of a 7-year-old boy, who, a Christian boy who starts to notice that, with his friends in different houses of worship, he can't go to their houses of worship and they don't come to his, and he gets afraid. He's laying in bed one night and he's afraid that when he passes away and his friends pass away, that they won't be together in heaven, and he starts to get scared, and it's about a conversation he has with his father.
Good deal. And what's the name of it?
Separate Heavens.
Separate Heavens. So
Wow.
Here's your chance to be a DJ. Do you want to do the lead into this song?
Sure. It's actually it's gotten picked up by a doctor of peace studies in Israel, and she's connected to the United Nations, and right now she's a little busy, but I told her absolutely yes, she can use it. And it's called Separate Heavens, and the singer is Duncan Scully, and I hope you enjoy it.
Last night I was tucking my son into bed. He turned to me in tears. There's something I can't get out of my head. It might sound kind of weird. He said, Dad, I was wondering, I just gotta know. You can tell me now I'm 7. When we die, where do we go? Does God have separate heavens? He said that we go to a church to pray, but Jordan goes to a hall. Steve's family goes to a synagogue, and the Taylors don't go at all. Aren't we the same? Some people say no, so Dad, I just don't get it. When we die, where do we go? Does God have separate heavens? Would he take my friends away just because of where they pray? Even though I wear a cross and Steve wears a star, that's not all we are. Doesn't God know everything? Are you sure, Dad? Have you ever met him? Do you know? Are there separate heavens?
Hello, welcome. Thank you for being with Imam Baul, Rabbi Rice, Father Beckman, Duncan Scully, and I for our inquiry into the possibility of peace between and among different religions. When I asked our spiritual leaders to come together, it was my hope that bridges would be built as a model of sorts for all clergy, all people. I hope you enjoy our conversation and the song performed by my son Duncan. Feel free to visit my report from the field entitled Oneness, the Imperative to Remember. Thank you, and thank you to the conference for including our work.
So my name's Philip Rice, and my nickname's Flip. They call me Rabbi Flip. And I'm a leader, one of them, of a spiritual community called Congregation Micah with my wife, Rabbi Lori Rice. We've co-led that community for almost 15 years. I get a lot out of living a Jewish life and exposing people to how Judaism can elevate and help them see the beauty in the world, like you would say, in every person. I like these guys a lot. And I believe in communicating with all people and sort of extending that hand and building bridges. And it helps me grow as a person and as a Jew, and helps me be a better spiritual leader. And this kind of work's important work.
It seems to me the foundation of everything is a respect for each and every human person that I meet. They maybe have a different faith or religion, or they may come from a different country, but somehow we are all, as you put it, descendants of Adam. We were all human beings. We would say, probably all of us would agree, created in the image and likeness of God. So somehow to see the goodness and beauty in each and every person, though they may be very different.
I feel like you have to be comfortable within your own practice. Being proud of your faith and the people speaking your language. But I really see Quran putting so much emphasis in this human family concept. I feel like if you are around the people, you are around the brothers or sisters anywhere. You can agree and disagree, but we have this fact about Adam and Eve that we all came from. No one can deny.
I think people have stories. We live our lives and we develop narratives. And it's very hard to let go of your story. That becomes your history. Like I think certain spiritual people can rise above and look for destiny, as opposed to just always going back to the story. So you take any conflict, Palestinians and the Israelis. Judaism's always remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. Remember, don't forget the Holocaust, and remember, and there was an Inquisition, and there's so much remember that we tell this story it can be one-sided, and then you don't listen to anybody else's story. What about everybody else's story? And I think this happens in our personal lives. We have a conflict with someone or some organization, and we hold on so deeply to that side of the story that we don't see the multiple narratives around it. Sometimes I think maybe we should forget.
I'm very comfortable. I feel like people can agree about principles, and they have room for agreement and disagreement when it comes to certain philosophy and this and that. It is nice. I think we've been fortunate. We live in a global society. We can do many things. We can move everywhere. We speak with everyone, and it is a challenge, but I see an opportunity in it. I see if you are with people speaking with you the way you expect all of the time.
So I have to give you kudos for also being very good at disarming people, which is to say, some people come at you, and I've seen you just disarm them. You know, I think of the story you tell of the man who was just wanted to convert you or thought you were there to convert him, and you said, "Isn't this your job? Tell the story."
The man was really mad. he said, "I'm here to let you know that you are going to hellfire. You did not accept the Christ, and anyone in your position is in trouble eventually. I am the way," he said. Jesus said. I said, "Okay, if I am going to hellfire, at least show me some sympathy. At least feel bad for me."
Stop yelling at us.
And it happened that he was a good guy, evangelical, and I said to him, "How come you travel all of the way to Africa, spending money, time, to call people to accept the Christ in Africa? And I'm a potential customer. Be nice with me. I'm in the neighborhood. I mean, really, I am."
That's powerful.
That's true.
We are not God. God is God. We have to do our best.
Oh, that's so great.
God sent us each to a different place. I couldn't sit with Kareem. He saved my seat on the bus today. Said he wants to be friends with me. And what about Rebecca Kay and her little brother Kevin? How are we supposed to play if God has separate heavens? Would he take my friends away just because of where they pray? Even though I wear a cross and Steve wears a star, that's not all we are. Doesn't God know everything? Are you sure, Dad? Have you ever met him? Do you know? Are there separate heavens? Now I lay me down to sleep. Daddy, can you pray with me? If my friends die before they wake, don't send them to a different place. Son, God won't take your friends away. In his eyes, we're all the same.
knows who you are. 'Cause he has children everywhere with different ways and different prayers. He loves you all and keep you all together. No, my son, there are no separate heavens. Oh, my son, there are no separate heavens.
And that's a radio first that I think it's been played on. But Jackie, thank you for being with us today. We're tight against time. You listened to Jackie Scully today with the Bridges of Hickory Woods, and signing off for Rick and Wayne, and we'll be back with you again next week.